Twitch, YouTube. We are going, and we're about to get started on Facebook, so give me a second here to make certain everything is where it needs to be on here first. Very warm across the area. Again, not seeing record high temperatures for the most part, but we are getting a lot of that steam heat out across much of the area. So for right now, the potential for a hot 4th of July will be giving us the potential of a lot of problems for outdoor activities into the next several days. Right now, it's good news again for the tropics. There's little, if anything, going on there. Could be a lot worse. This time of the year could get very active. Has not seen that for right now, so good news again on that. So for the next few days, anywhere around the southeast United States, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of water. Again, make sure that tank is filled. Make sure you're hydrating because it's going to be steamy out there for the next several days, and there will be the potential of some thunderstorms in there as well. So if you have any plans for outdoors, be prepared to get back indoors again as soon as you possibly can. All right, we are, I hope, no, we may not be live. I'm not too sure why. Coming up here in just a little bit, we may have to restart this over here in just a second or two. Why is this not working? Okay, no idea why this is happening, but I guess we'll find out here in just a little bit. Okay, we are not live on Facebook, and I don't know why, so stand by. We're going to have to stop this for just a second. For those of you on Twitch and YouTube, apologies, but unfortunately this has been the issue that we have been dealing with throughout the course of the last couple of weeks, to where we do not have everything working properly on here for right now. So we'll stop this and start over again to see what is happening. Okay, so, all right, let's try this one more time here. All right, here we go. One more time here again. Bear with me on Twitch and YouTube. We'll be with you in just a second. As always, again, the one minor thing that I keep forgetting to hit the right switch to get us on and ready to go on there. Yes, I do want to start the stream. Thank you very much. Okay, why are you not working? Really hate having to be cameraman and everything else at the same time. So this is going to look really weird on the recording from what I'm going to be able to see here for right now. Okay, so it says we're live. Let's see if we are, and I'm hoping that that is in fact the case. We should almost be there. I guarantee you I know what I'm doing, and hopefully need that. There we go. All right, so here we go in 3, 2, 1, stand by. Okay, looks like we are finally on. Apologies for the gremlins in the system, of which there have been numerous ones over the last several days. We are back with you now on Weather Overtime. It is Thursday, the first Thursday of July, leading into the holiday weekend. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. If you've never been here before, this is our live online video weather blog, enabling you, the viewer, to ask questions about the forecast if you have any. For our one viewer who keeps asking about Pikeville, we will ask about that in just a little bit to see what's going on there. We also have, again, some hot conditions into the next couple of days, more potential of showers and thunderstorms, more heat into the next few days, but temperatures will take a little bit of a downturn as we head into around the 4th of July and afterwards. So outdoor activities, definitely a forecast you want to pay attention to, and please remember to be weather aware out there. It's going to come in very handy to make certain that everybody's up to date on what's going on with the weather. Overnight tonight, it is going to be rather on the hot side for early on, and numbers overnight will barely be getting back into the mid, to high 70s at best. So not seeing anything in the way of very cool weather. October and November have never seemed so far away, and we are just into the first few days of the summer season. So we're going to be continuing to be rather toasty out there. Our weather window picture of the day taking a look at a little bit of atmospheric optics. The sun over on the left-hand side of your screen, and on the right-hand side, this nice rainbow area is what's referred to as a sundog. It's the light of the sun being broken up by either the ice crystals or the water droplets acting as prisms and coming forth as a rainbow seen through there. So sun and sundog. Thank you very much, News 12 viewer David McBay from Pikeville, for our weather window picture of the day. If you've got pictures, we'd love to see what you're looking at. Heading to the aquarium this weekend. Technically, it's indoors, but at least it'll give you some air conditioning and some great pictures out there. The Secret Reef Cam available at our Tennessee Aquarium website. Shark coming through, mind the big guy there, at tnaqua.org if you'd like to see that there. And again, please send us your pictures. We'd love to see them and show them around the area. It's finally made the century mark for the first time this year, and we blew away a record high that has stood since 1953. 99 degrees there, record low of 56, and when this is as low as your temperatures go, you know you are into the hottest times of summertime. We've got, again, that has stood since 1885, July starting off on a dry note. The entire year, we are now behind by 7 inches for the entire year. So once again, 2026 is more than likely going to go down as a dry year from what it looks like, unless we really begin to catch back up again. Outdoors on Friday, the prelude to the 4th of July. It's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, you're going to need the sunblock, that extra water, and you are going to need, again, to make certain you stay weather aware to get back indoors again should there be any thunderstorms taking place. Again, when thunder roars, go indoors. Might be a silly poem to some, but if it gets people to pay attention and save their lives, I'm all for it. So we are looking at some thunderstorms out tomorrow. Not a washout, but if you have plans for outdoors, I would definitely be ready to get back indoors again, if not for anything else other than the air conditioning out there. 1% list scenic city camera from downtown. Quiet and dry, at least where it comes to anything involving the possibility of rainfall, at least no rain immediately. We do have some thunderstorms barely moving over portions of northeast Alabama. Plainview outdoor advertising camera showing again a little bit of some haze out there for right now. And it looks like we may have a jammed camera system here. Give me 2 seconds to see if I can get this going again. From the Chattanooga Theater Center, hopefully. Ooh, hey, fireworks, even better. Looking great from down with a good fireworks display happening here on the North Shore. A bit of a party going on down here for tonight. So a beautiful view as we kick off our coverage for weather into the holiday weekend. 93 at just about 10 o'clock Eastern time. So it's been very toasty out there to say the least, and we still, at this time of the evening, have a heat index of 100. So that gives you an idea as to how magnificently hot and humid it has been out there, as numbers have barely gotten into the lower to mid 90s. There is a breeze east-northeast at about 5 miles an hour, but that's really not doing much to help cool anybody off, stirring the humidity around, if anything else, and that's about it for this evening. We do have, again, some thunderstorms taking place, mainly into northeast Alabama. The severe thunderstorm watch that was in effect has been allowed to expire as of 8 p.m. Central. The storms over DeKalb County now moving into southern Jackson County. Some pretty good lightning with that. The storm's barely moving because there's nothing to really push these things forward. So we see some isolated thunderstorms just barely creeping along, and we'll continue to see more potential like this. But I think now that the sun has set, we'll probably look at even less in the way of precipitation taking place. We have some storms down around Gadsden, close to Anniston, and northeast of Birmingham. Not showing any severe weather there, but probably some pretty good lightning in east central Alabama between I-20 and I-59. Now, beyond that, we did have some pretty good thunderstorms over North Carolina and North Georgia, but those have now dwindled into basically showers. So as of about just before 10 o'clock, there's really not much of anything else that's left at this time. maybe the potential of some severe weather, especially into tomorrow. Temperatures at the top of the hour, again, 91 at Chattanooga's APRS recording station, some 70s in the higher elevations where there's been rain, 80s throughout much of the rest of the area. I would call it comfortable, but I just came in from outdoors and it is not comfortable out there. 80s and 90s across much of the southeast United States. Greenville at 79, thanks to some passing showers and thunderstorms there. We've got, again, high pressure over the area. Air around high pressure rotates clockwise, so what we've got is high pressure pushing our latest storm systems away from us back to the north. And then underneath this area of high pressure, we've seen these storms moving from east to west. So again, as these storms come in, they're kind of moving in the exact opposite way that these storms usually should move through, and that's because of high pressure. Again, usually you associate that with decently quiet weather, and that's exactly what we have, but the rotation of this wind around high pressure in the northern hemisphere pushing these storms very weakly back over toward the west. So that's why they're moving from east to west. No conspiracy theories needed. It's just the way the storms are moving through the atmosphere thanks to this area of high pressure that is stuck over the area. This is also known as a heat dome, keeping things very much on the hot side. Now, there is a 1 out of 5 marginal threat. Parts of southeast Tennessee, northwest Georgia, northeast Alabama, a 1 out of 5 threat for severe weather tonight. The higher threats from earlier have basically kind of dwindled, but there will be a repeat performance tomorrow. Isolated possibility, a 1 out of 5 marginal threat into Friday. And then as we go into around the Saturday area, toward about the 4th of July, then we have the possibility of just thunderstorms. The severe weather threat gets pushed well back up to our north, mid-Atlantic, New England, upper Midwest around the Great Lakes. That's where the best potential of severe weather will be. We will see possibility of thunderstorms, so once again there will be the potential of some interruptions to the fireworks displays. Hopefully not much, but it is something we need to watch. Now, again, the heat advisories for the area will continue. It looks like the National Weather Services have dropped the excessive heat warnings for northwest Georgia and northeast Alabama, so some good news there, but that means everybody tomorrow will see the possibility of a heat index temperature of 105 degrees plus, and there are numerous other sites with that. Now, Middle Tennessee, they stay under the excessive heat warning, and then well back up to our north, that's where we see the worst of the worst going on. Here it's going to be hot, but not so blazingly hot as we may see, again, some more dangerous conditions. Either way, if you're working or exercising outdoors, please keep an eye on those working or exercising along with you. The good news, and yes, we have some, the drought update for today happens every Thursday, and according to this, the good news is the 4 out of 5 extreme drought situation has now been confined back toward North Carolina. The rest of the News 12 viewing area still has plenty of drought taking place, but the good news is that for the time being, things have really improved for our area. We are seeing less drought, which means we've gotten more rainfall to help to alleviate that drought, so our wildfire threat is less. The threat to anything involving agriculture is less. That's really looking at some very good news on that. Once again, remember, if you push yourself too hard, you're heading toward heat exhaustion territory. You could be faint or dizzy. You could, again, have nausea or vomiting. You could, again, fold up near fainting. Again, a rapid, weak pulse, muscle cramps are a big thing right there. That's your body telling you it's your last-ditch effort to stop and just relax and get yourself a time to catch up. You don't have to mow the lawn all at one time. You can take breaks. That's not a problem. If you push yourself even harder, this is going to be a very big life-threatening emergency. You have pushed your body past the point of where it should be able to cool down with a little help from you. And at this point in time, it's classified by a very big sign, no sweating. Your skin becomes dry because your sweating mechanism just says, I quit. And if your body can't sweat, the heat builds up inside of you, and that can be fatal. Again, when you see the body temperature rising over 103, Again, you could lose consciousness, could be vomiting, could be nausea, could be disorientation, very bad headache, and dry skin is going to be the clue on that. That is a call 911. Get them to emergency help as soon as you can type of emergency. Now, do not soak them in cold water. Don't dump them into a pool. You can sprinkle cold water over them. You can get them in the shade away from the sun. You can, again, get them in an air-conditioned room, but don't drop them into either cold water or ice water. Don't do anything like that because you could send them into thermal shock, and that is even worse. If you'd like to know more, plenty of information available from your healthcare provider on that. For the 4th of July, numbers will be pretty steamy out there. It won't be quite as hot as it has been over the last few days, but combine that with a healthy amount of humidity, especially in the hottest part of the days, that is where we are going to see the possibility of, again, the worst heat indexes out there. And numbers may drop off a little bit toward the fireworks displays, but notice here also there will be the potential of some possible wandering thunderstorms. So again, Mother Nature may throw some problems in there excuse me, as we go into fireworks display time this coming Saturday. I want to throw this in here. Again, my dad was a veteran from the Vietnam War from a long time ago, and I want to pass this along to remind everybody that if one of these signs is in your neighborhood or nearby, please consider being a good neighbor and moving your fireworks somewhere well away. Our veterans, especially those who have been in combats, if they would like some peace and quiet for their own peace of mind, they deserve it. And as their neighbors who supported them, going to do their duty as part of our armed forces, we owe that to them to be a good neighbor. So if you see one of these signs around the neighborhood or something like it, please remember, move the fireworks someplace else. They've been in combat. They're veterans of our country. They deserve some peace and quiet, so please be courteous with your fireworks as we head into the holiday coming up on Saturday. Rest of the forecast, again, into the next couple of days, and we got to wrap things up here because we're going to be recording here in the studio to let everybody know a little bit more about information coming up for the weekend. Heat advisory does continue for Friday and into Saturday, and then we get more chances of showers and thunderstorms. That cloudy, rainy weather, if it sticks around, should be enough to block out some of the sunshine, and that means we could be looking at the possibility of some lower temperatures, very close to where we should be for this time of the year, instead of roasting into the century mark territory. So we will see that potential of a downturn in the temperatures, but it's going to take a while for that to happen. And again, outdoor activities, really going to have to pay attention to what is going on here. Fireworks, the officials for the shows tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday night, if there's a possibility of a storm rolling through an area, it takes time to get thousands of people to safety. So you want to make certain that you're paying attention to that as much as you possibly can. Let's make certain everybody stays safe through the 4th of July and into the rest of summertime out there. Okay, for tonight, numbers again will be back in the high 70s for lows at best. Normally, Chip Chapman would be up with the show, but we're going to be having a patriotic special of CBS News coming up tomorrow, so you'll be able to catch Chip coming up on Monday morning starting at 5 a.m. as we take a bit of a break into there. Thanks to everybody for tuning in for tonight. Again, this is our kind of foreshortened weather overtime to give everybody an idea as to what's going on with things, but we're coming up on 10 o'clock Eastern here as we record this, so I've got to hop off of our recording because the studio is going to get very busy here coming up here in just a little bit. Questions, concerns, ideas, complaints, if you absolutely must, please give me a contact at aonek@wdef.com. Our website is where you can reach everybody and anybody here at News 12. Our news director, our general manager, all that type of stuff is available at our website. Got questions about the forecast, WDEF.com/weather. We'll continue to monitor the storms and the severe weather potential through the holiday weekend, so definitely want to stay tuned for more there. Live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Thanks for joining us for Thursday's edition of Weather Overtime, sponsored, I should add, importantly, by Epicos Comics, Cards, and Games. Stop by your one-stop geek shop at epicosccg.com if you'd like to know more, and thanks to Epicos and all of our sponsors for sponsoring our programs and segments here on News 12. Thanks for joining us for Thursday night, and we'll catch you again coming up as we go into and past the weekend.